For my water wall of color, as I was brainstorming and creating it, my ideas changed drastically over time. I had originally wanted to take numerous size water bottles and connect them to either a pegboard or a piece of plywood board. And I had originally had thought if I had used a pegboard, I would use zip ties to connect them to the actual board. On the other hand, if I had used a piece of plywood, I was going to either nail the water bottles to the board or I was going to screw them to the board to stabilize them. Now, in this first sketch that you see that idea of connecting the different water bottles to the board. I had originally thought that I could change the way that the water bottles were facing and that over time when the water would flow through it, the water would make a different sound. This wasn't necessarily the case. In fact, it made the same sound. It was very repetitive. So instead, in the second picture you see is a sketch that I had decided I would do instead. Now, I originally had an idea that I would use the tin can, the soup can, and I would create a lever base below it which would allow a marble to pass through. I had originally thought of using a marble because with that, it would flow with the water and it would also emphasize the sound that it would make as it hit different materials that I had used. This didn't work because the marble got stuck numerous times in the different materials. So this sketch wasn't effective, so then I created the third sketch. This sketch was the most effective, and I decided for this it would be the most successful. Now, I had originally thought when I was going to do this, I was going to incorporate the primary colors of red, blue, and yellow. And in doing so, I was going to place the yellow drops in the top bottle, and then I was going to place red drops in the aluminum foil boat, and then in the funnel I was going to place blue food coloring drops. And I did this, and it worked out good because at the end it produced a purple color water. Now this is great, but the only thing is that my project lacked the usage of light for the coercion piece. That being said, I went to my local Walmart and I purchased glow sticks. In doing so, you will see later on in the S'more website a recipe-based instruction of how to create it yourself. But instead, this worked out very well. In order to stabilize the pieces that I had done for this sketch, I hot glued all of the pieces to the board. This worked out well and in fact better than screwing or nailing them in because it prevented leakage of the water as it passed through the different parts of my display board. There were numerous times as I created this and tested it out and retested it out that I found leaks in my water wall of color. This was because I had used numerous plastic parts, and when I used the hot glue gun, the hot glue actually melted some of the plastics. So I had to go back through and fix those pieces or restabilize it.